Hello, everyone. The date was July 22nd, 1995. The venue, the famed Centenario Stadium in Montevideo, Uruguay. I'm glad you could be with us to relive a moment in history, a classic matchup between Uruguay and Brazil. Alongside Rafu Insane, I'm Kelly O'Donnell. We step back in time to enjoy this match between two of the CONMEBOL giants. In fact, this was a familiar scene in the 80s and 90s. Uruguay and Brazil facing off in the Copa América title. In fact, this was the third time in 6 Copa Americas that these two teams met in the championship.
And the world champs, Brazil, coached by Mario Lobo Zagallo, taking on Uruguay, coached by Héctor Núñez. Uruguay at home trying to clinch another Copa América for them. The lineups for this match: in goal for Uruguay, Fernando Alves, Gustavo Méndez, José Herrera, Eber Moas, and Tabaré Silva in the back line. Gustavo Poyet, Álvaro Gutiérrez holding, Diego Dorta, Enzo Francescoli creating behind Marcelo Otero, and Daniel Fonseca, number 9, for coach Héctor Núñez. Starting 11 for Núñez at home at Centenario. Let's see who Lobo Zagallo brings onto the pitch. This legendary stadium. It's Claudio Taffarel in goal, Jorginho, Aldair, Andre Cruz, Roberto Carlos, and Dunga, Cesar Sampaio, Juninho and Zinho. Up front, the animal, Edmundo next to Tulio.
Uruguay beat Brazil in the 83 Copa América final. Brazil returned the favor in 1989. In 95, essentially the rubber match of this series. How did it turn out? We'll get to the kickoff next on Goal TV. We've taken a step back in time to relive the 1995 Copa América final between Uruguay and Brazil. Uruguay looking for their 14th Copa América championship, and doing so, they would tie Argentina for the most ever championships won in South America. Brazil looking for their 5th Copa América title. Of course, Brazil in yellow, moving from right to left at Centenario Stadium in Montevideo.
So, and this is the summer of 95. Remember, in the summer of 94, Brazil clinched their 4th title. And Coach Barreira, and the assistant was Mario Lobo Zagallo, who's now taken over the national team. Made a few changes in the back line. Andre Cruz, number 14, who was playing for Napoli. Very talented left-footer central defender. And Roberto Carlos starting back line for Brazil, replacing Leonardo. Also, Juninho Paulista with number 10 earned a start in this lineup for Brazil. There you have Zinho, who's playing right now in the USL with Miami FC. There he was playing in Japan after the World Cup in 94. A lot of players from Brazil went to Japan.
Zinho just celebrated his 40th birthday within the last week.
There's a young Juninho, debuted for Brazil in a friendly in London against England. Brazil won 3-0. So Claudio Taffarel is the goalkeeper. He was still playing in Brazil before traveling to Italy, played for Parma in Serie A. He was playing for Atletico Mineiro. Right back Jorginho, who's had still Cafu on the bench, was playing in Japan. Aldair, the veteran, played until he was 40 years old for Roma. Andre Cruz and Roberto Carlos, the back line. In midfield holding, Cesar Sampaio with number 5, and Dunga. You see the young Roberto Carlos. Dunga, the coach today for Brazil. Zinho and Juninho, the playmakers. The animal Edmundo with number 7, with center forward Tulio. Now for Uruguay, coached by Héctor Núñez, a veteran coach who made most of his career coached in Spain, had Fernando Alves in goal. Right back, Gustavo Méndez. In the middle, José Herrera, who played for Cagliari. José Herrera, by the way, played right back. He was switched to sweeper later on in this tournament by Núñez. Eber Moas is the other central defender. Tabaré Silva, the left back. Holding in midfield, Gutiérrez, number 5, and Poyet, number 11. Dorta and Francescoli creating behind Fonseca, number 9, who was playing for Roma. He ended up in Juventus later on with number 7, Marcelo Otero. There you have Marcelo Otero asking for the ball.
Ball set inside the area, but it's Taffarel sprinting off of his line to collect. Quickly outlets to the far touchline. pass intercepted by Uruguay, but quickly taken back and out contact. And the first foul of the match comes in the 4th minute.
That's very good. And by the way, Arturo Bricio Carter is the referee from Mexico. He's assisted by Bomer Ferro from Ecuador and Adrian Gomez from Venezuela.
Threaded through inside the area near the end line. Not much room to operate. It's touched off, and it will be a corner kick for Brazil.
It's interesting. It's late winter in Uruguay in July. The Brazilians should be colder or in short sleeves.
Zinho to supply from the corner. And swinger popped in the air by Alves, who the keeper was fouled.
On the bench for Uruguay, you have players like Ruben Sosa, who was a playmaker for Inter Milan, and Marcelo Saralegui, who's a midfielder for Racing Avellaneda, Rubén da Silva, center forward for Boca Juniors, the famous Polillita, and Pablo Bengochea, the maestro for Peñarol, on the bench for Núñez in Uruguay.
Zinho defended by 2, touched out of bounds by Adonolfi.
For Brazil, you got Dida, the backup keeper, for example, Savio on the bench, and none less than Ronaldo on the bench. Uh-oh, here we go.
But Carlos, the man that suffered the foul. Mendez involved. Carlos hot under the collar, being settled down by a number of teammates. Cesar Sampaio among them.
It's Herrera who hit Edmundo very hard, and what a very strong tackle both ways. Herrera's, and look at Roberto Carlos coming in. Oh, we didn't. Coming in very strong. Should have been booked by Bricio Carter. Yeah, he wrote him down. Roberto Carlos got booked by Bricio Carter.
You mentioned Ronaldo on the bench for Brazil, just 18 years old when this match was being played, back before the phenomenon became the phenom.
The veteran coach Zagallo. Every time Brazil wins a title, you gotta find him. He's involved
He was
somehow.
there
He's
somehow.
the coach, he's the assistant, he's a player, or he's something, but he's there, sitting on the bench. Mario Lobo Zagallo, what a story.
In fact, he's the first footballer to win the World Cup as a player. Did it twice as a coach and as an assistant coach, of course, with Brazil every time.
And most of the times, Parreira is involved. For example, in 1970, people forget Carlos Parreira was the physical strength coach for Brazil when Mario Zagallo was the coach. Then it switched. In 94, he was assistant Zagallo for Parreira, and they did it again in 98. It's incredible. I think 98 is the only time he hasn't won it, Zagallo, when he's been involved. And he was close. He made it to the final.
Yep. Knocked away by Herrera. Good misdirection, finding space out on the flank. Juninho drifting ahead, looking for the service. To instead, Brazil protecting the ball. They drop it back in their own half, and another confrontation as the Mexican official Arturo Carter has to intervene.
Of course, the leader of this team, Dunga, always with that haircut, military style. He still looks exactly the same as he used to when he was a player. Yeah, I get the feeling Dunga has never had a drink of alcohol in his life. You know what I mean? He's that kind. He's like the perfect footballer.
50 push-ups every night before he goes to sleep.
Before going to sleep. And then when he wakes up, another 100. And he still looks like he still could play. I was surprised, number 7, Marcelo Otero, earning a starting job for Héctor Núñez. I thought Rubén da Silva was going to be the starter. And Brazil came out of Group B in this Copa América, where they had to face Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. And Uruguay was in Group A alongside Mexico, Paraguay, and Venezuela. Look at Roberto Carlos again, now against Gustavo Mendes, the right back.
A slashing effort to win possession, slid through inside the area, pulled across the mouth of the goal, and touched off for a corner kick.
That was Enzo Francescoli stealing the ball and right away pushing forward, getting into the 18. And a cross cleared by Andre Cruz with his right foot. He's a lefty. Andre Cruz, very talented center back. Reminds me of Edinho in '82, same style.
Shallow kick knocked outside the area, but tracked down by Francescoli. Knocks the ball square, shows in support, back for Enzo. Tried to dodge a pair of yellow jerseys, sticks with it, down he goes, and gets the call. Enzo fouled by Dunga.
Dunga and Zinho closing down on the talented Francescoli. He was going to get past them, and Dunga says, no way.
Francescoli putting the ball near the penalty spot. Headed off frame, now goal kick to Brazil as we reach the end of the 10th minute of play.
The coach Núñez for Uruguay, Hector Núñez, born in 1936, played for Nacional of Uruguay most of his career, but he also played in Spain for Valencia. He's a right winger. He won 2 UEFA Cups playing for Valencia.
Edmundo slips by his marker. He's roaming free, bending with the outside of his right foot. Roberto Carlos tries to get fancy with the outside of his right, and it's out for a corner.
It's Edmundo beating Gustavo Mendes, sending the cross in, looking for Tulio. It's Roberto Carlos, who becomes a left winger most of the time, especially as young as he was back then.
Juninho from the corner, sailing it to the back side of the 6, where it's snatched by Alves. Quick outlet. And now a foot race across midfield. He's got wheels, touches it square. Difficult pass to complete. And Brazil there to intercept.
Definitely Ortero with good pace, but he rushed that cross. 3 players closing in on Fonseca.
Tulio touching a square, now looks to get on the other end of it, and it's Tulio pushing off and charged with the foul.
And there you saw Jose Herrera. I mentioned he began this tournament as a right back. It was sent to the middle. He's very good closing in, playing as a sweeper also. Here he fouled, or he was fouled by Tulio, the center forward for Brazil.
Tulio scored in the 81st minute of Brazil's quarterfinal match against Argentina. 5 days before this championship match, it came in the 81st minute in a 2-1 game with Argentina in front. It was the equalizer. The match went to penalties. Brazil won, denying Argentina a chance to repeat as Copa América champions after winning the title in 1993 over Mexico 2-1. But the controversy came in the way Tulio scored his goal. Went off of his hand, uncalled by the officials. And still, many Argentines will gripe over that blown call, as Tulio was able to lead Brazil to the penalty shootout and now on into the finals.
And they had to attend. Jose Herrera stayed on the ground for a while. Herrera was playing for Cagliari in Italy back then. Tulio for Botafogo in Rio de Janeiro.
A chance for the service. It comes in innocently on the turf. Quickly cleared by Brazil. Tulio at option square. Instead, they'll try and claw their way down the touchline. And Carter will give the free kick to Brazil. Two number 10s tangling. There's Roberto Carlos. Here's Zinho. Back Roberto Carlos playing with Zinho still. Dancing around Moss. Roberto Carlos slicing a ball inside the box.
Elbows flying, very intense. Not a good match technically, but it's the pitch that's not helping. It's very soft. Remember, it's late winter in Uruguay. With Poyet goes very strong against Dunga. Poyet, who was playing in Spain back then, ended up playing in the Premiership. He was playing for Real Zaragoza back then.
Roberto Carlos backing up with the left foot, blasting it right through the two-man wall. Shut down near the penalty spot on re-entry back near the 12-yard marker. Now a chance to tuck it outside of the area. Daring move inside the box, but Uruguay now gets their chance to clear. For Francescoli, hits it back first time. Throw into Uruguay.
Again, Roberto Carlos involved. Going against Mendes, the right back. Gets the ball, but so intense, as usual, the intensity of Roberto Carlos. By the way, arrived in Turkey, and for Fenerbahce.
This pass intercepted.
What a reception in Istanbul for a rival of Roberto Carlos. Very impressive.
He arrives as a champion after leaving Real Madrid on a high note.
And he'll be coached by Zico, another legend from Brazil.
Brazil again trying to operate down the far flank.
It was Jorginho who rushed that one. I mentioned after winning World Cup '94, a lot of players from Brazil went to the J League. They had began, and of course Jorginho ended up at Kashima Antlers. Ronaldao, the original Ronaldo, the big central defender, ended up at Shimizu S-Pulse. Cesar Sampaio from Yokohama Flugels. Dunga and Júbilo Iwata. Zinho and Yokohama Flugels. So, Leonardo Kashima Antlers. Great start to the J League back then. And very talented players. World Cup winners behind Lobo Zagallo. He was one of the first left wingers who dropped to midfield, changing for three starters, from three strikers to a 4-4-2 back in '58.
Quality tackle. Out for a throw. You mentioned Brazil's triumph in the '94 World Cup. The United States, it's interesting. In the round of 16 at the '94 World Cup, Brazil faced the U.S. They won that game 1-0. That was the game where Leonardo elbowed Tab Ramos and fractured his skull. Well, the two teams met in this tournament just a year later in the semifinals, and Brazil won by the same score, 1-0. Mundo pushes it wide. Back. Tries to thread it through, and a whistle kills the play.
I doubt it. I don't think Tulio was offside. Good ball movement as usually from Brazil, attacking with numbers and with one touch spreading those defenders from Uruguay. It was Edmundo involved, then it was Zinho. Look at that pass from Zinho. He's not offside. Edmundo is. Back then, they might have called Edmundo offside.
That's true. Ball lifted over the defense. Corral just between the lines. Touches square. Now looks to knock it inside the area. Walked outside the box and played into touch.
It's weird to see Roberto Carlos with that little afro of his. I've seen about 10 years without any hair.
And as for Otero, well shielded by Roberto Carlos.
The top scorer in this Copa América was Batistuta. We played Copa América in Venezuela '07. 4 goals scored by Batistuta, same as Luis Garcia, the Mexican ex-Atletico Madrid. Argentine Balbo scored 3, Tulio scored 3, Freddy Rincon for Colombia 3, Otero in Uruguay also 3, and Eric Winalda scored 3 goals in that Copa America.
Very impressive tournament by the United States, playing in the Copa America for the second time. They competed in the 93 edition and finished dead last, 12 out of 12 teams, then rebounded in 95. They were placed in Group C along with Argentina and shocked everyone by defeating Argentina 3-0 on the final match day of group play.
Argentina with a mixed lineup, but still they had Batistuta starting, for example. They were surprised by the Americans, who learned a lot from 93 to 95. Yeah. A lot. That learning curve was impressive.
All the way back with Tafarel.
Copa America is the oldest international soccer tournament in the world. The first edition in 1916. They only played 6 matches. Organized by Argentina. It was more of an invitational tournament. Herrera and Roberto Carlos still going at it. Like that also used to play every 2 years. Change it to now every 4 years.
Zinho plays it ahead. This is Juninho looking for his target man. Tulio knocked down the ball into the hands of Alice.
Even played through the Tulio. Would have been booked for that. Benicio Carter says no, no, no.
Brazil pushing ahead once more. Edmundo. And the door slammed shut on Edmundo's attempt. But out now for Zinho. Heavy touch. Puts himself in danger, but does well to recover, and it's all the way back for his keeper.
Sampaio knows his position. A heavy touch, not helped by the pitch, but still protected the ball. Not allowing Uruguay to recover there. Could have been very dangerous.
Great change of pace. Defender scrambling back. Here's an opportunity. Tugged through. And knocked off for a corner.
Edmundo back then was playing for Flamengo. He went to... Later on, he played with Batistuta and Fiorentina.
Great interception. Uruguay looking to move the ball in a hurry. Rapidly across midfield. Almeida is stuck in his foot. Complicating matters in possession back for Brazil. Great vision from Roberto Carlos hitting Edmundo. Patience from Edmundo. Waits for Tulio. A wave of yellow jerseys inside the area for Brazil. Still a developing situation, and now the flag is in the air.
Once again, Juninho, I don't think it's offside. The assistant says it's in the near side where the offside happened. 2 other players were offside, not Juninho Paulista. A mistake by Jorginho cutting to the middle instead of taking a shot. And the defenders were retreating. What a beautiful view there of Montevideo. There's Juninho. Instead of taking a shot, he cuts to the left, and they close him down. So next Copa America we'll be watching at the end of this month. We'll be playing in Venezuela, which is the only country that had never hosted a Copa America until this summer. And still the only country in South America without playing a World Cup.
In fact, they've never advanced out of group play in the Copa America. But considering they're playing at home, drawn into a relatively easy group. Certainly you have to consider that they have a decent chance to make it to the quarterfinals this time around.
Well, Argentina had hosted Copa América 8 times. None for Venezuela until now.
Shot well over the top of the bar.
Mentioned Uruguay looking for their 14th title. Argentina has 14. Brazil only 6. Paraguay and Peru with 2. Bolivia and Colombia with 1, which they hosted. That's when they won it.
Right. Slipping back into his poop.
There's an impressive record for Uruguay in Copa Américas. They're undefeated at home in Copa Américas. 38 matches, no losses. Winning 31, drawing 7, including this one.
Much of that has to do with Uruguay playing in this stadium where historically the national team has been almost invincible at Centenario.
The last couple of qualifiers where Venezuela surprised them.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. They lost here in Montevideo to Venezuela in the last qualifiers.
Sports out for Sampaio.
So much history and so many stories in the Copa América. For example, longest match in Copa América, it's the final between Brazil and Uruguay in 1919. 150 minutes. 90 in the regular time, 2 extra times for 30 minutes.
Brazil won that 1-0. After finally getting a goal. When you have to imagine the players were crawling by the time the match finally came to its conclusion.
And back then, really, there were no substitutions, no cards,
right?
Nothing. Just keep playing till you drop dead.
Good touch back over the top for Francescoli. Ropes it in. Dodges a trio of defenders. Finds support. Good ball movement now from Uruguay. Fonseca. Right off for Fonseca. Volley touch from Juninho. Back for number 10. Turning the corner is Edmundo. He's ripped to the carpet. And that draws the attention of Arturo Carter. Free kick for Brazil.
The animal loses his patience waiting up front. He drops to midfield, and they know better. They cannot let him start from midfield. If he starts dribbling, he'll continue. And harder to stop him later on. But right away, they slow him down.
It's a great stick as battle wages right on the center stripe, but the foul is going to go against Juninho.
Well, started to step on the ball. Interesting how hard Juninho's working in midfield, where he's trying to earn a spot. Although he had earned it, he's been the starter since after the World Cup '94. But still, showing Mario Zagallo he can trust him.
Only 22 years old when this match was played. Zinho. Roberto Carlos directing traffic from the back, taking his time, picking out his captain, Dunga. Now the ball checks up. Dunga's pass a bit unlucky, but is still corralled by Edmundo. He was flying inside the area, but play continues. Dunga to intercept.
Always a great vision by Dunga and the talent from Roberto Carlos.
Yeah. Yep.
Always showing off. Why not? He's got it.
Here's Juninho. Turns and faces the target, has some help in front, tries to hook up with Tulio. Tieta streaking down the far touchline. Nobody able to close him down. The service comes in too easy, and the header into the open arms of Tafarel.
Wow, number 5, Álvaro Gutiérrez, who was playing for Nacional in Montevideo back then, comes out of the hole, the defensive mid. Beautiful cross for Fonseca, who heads it straight into Tafarel's hands. First chance for Uruguay, the best in the 29th. Hermoso, again, not allowing Edmundo any comfort, and Núñez screaming at his players. He thinks he should have scored already. And Zagallo's furious they allowed Fonseca that header in the small box almost. It's Zagallo, look at him. So intense. He lives the game, he loves the game.
Roberto Carlos does well to elude the defender and hit Juninho. Off the chest of Edmundo. It's back for Edmundo. Oh, and a pass into the little box and touched in by Tulio.
In the 30th minute, great combination, and it's Edmundo who beats a defender, sends the ball in. And Alves stays on the ground. Edmundo with the assist and Tulio with the goal. Could have been a handball also. So it's 1-0 for Brazil, who they're playing a little bit better than Uruguay. Beats Tavares Silva to that ball. It's Zinho involved again with Edmundo, give and go. It's hard to tell.
He may have gotten that one squarely off the chest, unlike the goal that was scored in the quarterfinals against Argentina.
Alves asking for help, the goalkeeper. He came off his line. Did not expect Edmundo to send that cross towards Tulio.
Third goal of the tournament for Tulio.
Very brave Brazilian fans at Centenario. Let's see if this angle. No. We've seen it, what, 10 times?
10
We're still not
times,
sure,
right? But just as Zagallo was getting animated on the sideline, as you mentioned, somewhat frustrated, they hadn't scored yet on cue. Tulio at the half-an-hour mark, and Brazil scores the opener of the 1995 Copa América final.
Núñez is warming up a couple of players already for Uruguay. Player down on the pitch, stretched out. Looks like Tavares Silva, the left back. Oh, that's who they're showing us now. There, he might have injured his left knee. Not clear. Really? Zinho booked by Maurizio Carter. A foul against Francescoli.
It's hard to tell. I don't know if we can get a better look at it than
Great
that.
effort, guys, but I still can't make up my mind.
Nice try. Drifting away from the target. Couldn't get enough power on it as Zinho's officially booked.
Uruguay holds an interesting record. It's the only team they have a positive head-to-head against all of the South American nations in Copa America. Very interesting.
Yep.
course, the Uruguayans won the Olympics in 30 and 34. They start winning everything. Won the World Cups in 24 and 28, the Olympics, sorry.
Right,
the World Cup in 30. First one they hosted at home, they won it. So they began very early, winning everything.
And that victory in the 30 World Cup, the first World Cup, this stadium.
Yep. First final played here.
4-2 the final score. Uruguay beat Argentina.
The USA finished third in that World Cup. Okay, it's Adinolfi will be coming in for Tabare Silva, left back. Change for Nunez. Silva got injured. Ricardo Adinolfi. Played for River Plate in Montevideo. He ended up playing in Israel later on.
Pass picked off. A tangle of limbs. Zinho and Mendez going at it.
That should have been his first yellow card. Now it could have been his second. Mendez gained positioning and Zinho did not like it. He pulled him down. And now Dunga claims he's in hard on Mendez. Says, don't do that to a little guy, number 11. Zinho and Dunga probably saw an elbow that referee did not see. In the 35th minute, a very good chance. Right from the top of the box, they'll take a free kick. Poyet going down. Good chance for Enzo. Seca decoy behind the ball.
Enzo, and he tugs it just about a yard wide of the target.
As he puts it over the wall, but off target. Tabarel might have it covered. Enzo was playing back in River Plate in Buenos Aires after playing in Italy and France.
Once again, Mendez, the victim of another foul.
Again, it's Zinho living dangerously. Both are Uruguay and Brazil involved in games with a lot of goals. In 1927, Uruguay defeated Bolivia 9-0. 57, Brazil defeated Colombia 9-0. Game with the most goals in 1942, Argentina defeated Ecuador 12-0. I can say defeated. And 1945, Brazil 9-2 over Ecuador.
Fans applauding the efforts of Edmundo. Getting by Moas. Goes down in a heap with a free kick. Given to Brazil.
Moas claimed he got ball. Without a doubt, one of the top forwards in the world back then at Ayúdame. Too hard to control off the pitch.
Yeah.
On the pitch, hard to slow down. Off the pitch, he never stopped either.
Five men crowding the wall. A trio of options behind the ball. Set on target and snatched by Alves.
Mentioned he later ended up playing in Italy, at Edmundo playing in Fiorentina. Well, comes February, and Edmundo disappeared. Nowhere to be found. And Florentina had a match, and well, he went to the carnival in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, of course. That's kind of a player at Edmundo, like the animal. Got involved in brawls. Got major problems. One of those carnivals, he was drunk and he ran over a couple of people and killed them, and he ended up in jail for a couple of weeks also. So, but he has been behaving the last couple of years, playing for Palmeiras, by the way, still playing. Finally matured enough.
He was only 24 when this match was played. Captain Dunga. Well, just behind Juninho. Here comes Uruguay storming ahead. Enzo wants it back.
Otero should have taken a shot. Where else was he going to dribble into the 18? Ouch. Somehow Sinho's always getting hit. There you go.
Roberto Carlos. Really, effort from Edmundo.
In a squirt foot, he can dribble past defenders twice, and he beats them and right. Tries again. It's too impressive at Edmundo.
Closed down by Juninho. 1v1 cross still comes off, but ineffective as it's scooped up by Taffarel.
A story for Taffarel after World Cup '94. Leaving his hotel after the final game, he left his wallet in a taxi cab. Well, taxi cab, soccer fan, returned it to the hotel. That was after he was already a champion. He was buying it. He went home. Went to the malls to buy a gift for his family and lost his wallet. He came back to the hotel. There it was. Very nice.
Mendes plays it square. Here's Gutierrez. Continues the switch. Poke towards the end line and no chance.
Arinolfi pushing forward, but once the defenders realize he's going to lift the ball, chip it over them, their heads, they step up, and everybody would have been offside. Wow.
Gambling against Tulio. Great composure by Juninho to bring it down. Spreads it out wide. Jorginho. Back with Juninho. Settled by Roberto Carlos. Edmundo. Again, elusive. Now continues his run through the area. And nearly found the seam. They had a wide open Edmundo. Off the chest of Roberto Carlos now. He looks to engage. Instead, pulls it out for Zinho. Heel ball from Edmundo. Wanted to go back with Zinho.
Very simple. When the defenders of Uruguay close down and make a perfect line, it's a give and go. It's going to break that up. And Edmundo's always trying give and goes.
Switch by Dorta. Just outside the box, Uruguay building their attack. This could be an opportunity as the ref signals play on, but an innocent shot corralled by Tafarel.
Yeah, but it was number 5, Sampaio, who closed them down, not allowing a shot from the top of the box. Francescoli tries to bring it down. Well, he brings it down, but then he's closed down by Sampaio. Watch out.
If Leo got on the other end, it could have been his second of the match. Tunga. And a lapse in concentration from Roberto Carlos.
It's the 44th minute. I don't know. I don't think Uruguay can tie it before the end of half. When could have been a foul inside the 18, they're showing us. Nunez is going to have to make some changes. They have the tools on the bench. I forgot to mention Nunez, by the way, coach Atlético Madrid, coach Tenerife, coach Las Palmas, Valencia, Rayo Vallecano, all Spanish teams, Granada and Valladolid also in Spain.
Too aggressive on the entry ball. It's off the end line. Goal kick to Brazil as we approach the end of the opening 45.
The second half of Uruguay, maybe make a couple of changes up front. Otero and Fonseca have been well controlled by the Brazilian defenders.
Elusive run through the center circle, but then a loose pass, and it's intercepted by Zinho. Roberto Carlos just inside his own half. Searching ball. Pushed down onto the flanks. An opportunity as we roll into stoppage time. No one had made the run to the back post.
It was fully offside up the middle, according to the linesman. And it was a good call.
And that's it for the first half. Brazil in front, 1-0. Julio at the half an hour mark. The difference in this contest so far. We'll step aside highlights from the first half of the 95 Copa América final coming up. Brazilian fans enjoying themselves. Their side in front, 1-0 at halftime. It's the 1995 Copa América final. And we are now underway in the second half from Centenario Stadium in Montevideo, Uruguay. 60,000 fans on hand for the final of the 37th edition of the Copa América tournament.
Sergio Martinez, a striker from Boca Juniors, comes onto the pitch for Uruguay, replacing Daniel Fonseca. And apparently it's Pablo Bengochea. Yeah, it's not apparent. It's Pablo Bengochea, the maestro, on the pitch, replacing Dorta for Uruguay.
Francescoli knocks it back this way.
Adinolfi pushing forward, the left back, fouled by Jorginho.
On the restart, wow. The ball headed just wide of the frame, but a second whistle blew the play dead.
Apparently Manteca Martinez offside. There's a confirmation. Martinez and Bengochea for Fonseca and Dorta. Bengochea, Peñarol player, also worked for Zaragoza in Spain. Wow, Dunga getting hit from behind. Rarely happens. He is usually hitting people from behind. It's defensive mid Álvaro Gutiérrez. Uruguay has Fernando Alves in goal. The four defenders are Mendes, Herrera, Moas, and Adinolfi from right to left. Then Poyet and Gutierrez holding, Bengochea, Francescoli creating behind Otero and Martinez. Long range shot for Brazil. Surprised it's not Roberto Carlos. It's Andre Cruz.
He keeps it on the ground.
Let Roberto Carlos take it.
pass out in front. Fancy with the heel, but intercepted by Captain Dunga.
And Sergio Martinez, not as talented dribbling-wise as Edmundo, but also very dangerous forward. Very savvy there. He's fouling Sampaio.
Under duress, tries to release the ball upfield. Ricochets off towards the touchline. It's kept in play as play surges forward. The entry ball is snuffed out just inside the area.
Pass on the ground. Did not work that time. More offensive Uruguay in the second half, of course, trailing a goal. By a goal. With Bengochea and Francescoli pushing up farther up behind Otero and Martinez. A lot of work now for Poyet and Gutierrez.
Mendez triggers the restart. Dunga. Lucas pass ricochets back for his keeper Tafara.
Very slow Dunga coming up the middle in that one. Jorginho complicating himself, got into the middle. And Tulio scored his second controversial goal of the tournament. Reminds me of Rai, big midfielder.
Settled just inside the area, but away from target. Now bent back the other way. Tossed in near the penalty spot. It's loose. Popped into the sky as Tafarel chases after it.
An impressive touch by Francescoli trying to push the ball towards Otero. The ball came from the far side when Martinez got involved. Impressive was Andre Cruz clearing.
First half, we mentioned Brazil's run to the championship, getting past Argentina in that controversial match. They went to penalties in the quarterfinals and then beating the United States 1-0 in the semifinals. As far as Uruguay's roadmap to the finals, as they press again inching closer to the 18 and earn the free kick. Uruguay topped Bolivia in the first knockout stage, the quarterfinals. Then in the semifinals, Ralph, they got past Colombia 2-0. And this was a great generation for Colombian soccer. Of course, all sorts of expectations heading into the 1994 World Cup after dominating South America in World Cup qualifying leading up to the World Cup in the U.S. Of course, well documented what happened to Colombia in the group stage, losing to the United States, and then made it to the semifinals of this tournament. They lost to Uruguay 2-0.
It's Bengochea and Francescoli behind the ball. Bengochea better in free kicks.
And it will be Bengochea to step up and deposits it in the upper 90.
Once Bengochea, it's pretty much his first touch. One step, bends it over the wall, finds the top corner. Impressive golazo by Pablo Bengochea. No chance for Tafarel. What a way to take the free kicks. The maestro, Pablo Bengochea, and we're tied 1-1 at Centenario. That one, two quick steps. And Tafarel thought it was a little bit wide. And instead it's in the back of the net. It was Aldair who fouled Otero, and he's the maestro. 7th minute, we're tied 1-1.
Struggle on the clearance. Now it's swept away from danger.
Let's wait for a reaction from Brazil. Still plenty of time, 40 minutes more or less. And now it'll be advantage Uruguay and counterattack with Martinez on the pitch.
Francescoli dumps the ball into the corner for Otero. It's swept away on a throw in for Uruguay.
Wow.
Slingshot toss deep inside the area, bouncing back in his direction. Zuniga struggling. Ball from Poyet finds the space. This is Mendez now. Couldn't split a pair of defenders. Sampaio to work it out of the back third.
Very impressive defending there. Herrera closing this very good sweeper. Improvised as a sweeper.
Juninho. Short pass for Zinho. Zinho continues his run as Edmundo operates, turns it over. Hopeful ball out of the back. Nervously headed back for Taparão. Jorginho. Closing down Juninho.
He should be booked for that. It's Alvaro Gutierrez tripping Juninho from behind. The only way to slow down Juninho Paulista. Oh!
A rapid restart in the header.
What happened?
Bounces just off the frame.
No, it was offside.
Yep.
Tulio offside, not Edmundo who scored. Wow.
Off by Gutierrez.
Ouch. Sampaio should be booked. Mauricio Carter, Mexican referee, was not booked.
With Carlos. Now Zinho. Running unabated. Now he feels some resistance and goes back. Roberto Carlos sends in this service and defensively headed off for a Brazil quarter kick.
Those crosses will, defenders of Uruguay will have the advantage. One of the best clearing those crosses. Nobody's listening to Alves.
Spot, but effectively headed down outside the zone. Conflict just out of the box and a free kick for Uruguay.
Oh, the Brazilians slowing down the counterattack. Slowing down Bengochea. Juninho Paulista. He was born in Sao Paulo. Juninho Pernambucano, born in the state of Pernambuco.
Carlos just a bit off the mark. Pass intended for Edmundo. I don't know.
Remember, Brazil has a lot of talented players on the bench. Savio, one of them. Leandro, the other one. And Ronaldo on the bench. Again, remember, he was on the bench in the World Cup, did not play.
Yep. Years after that, and Ronaldo is the all-time leading goal scorer in World Cups. Jorginho back for Taparão. Clever touch. Good eye, finds the space. The Carlos takes his time, plays the conservative ball square. Now Brazil navigating their way through the center of the park. Good deceptive pass, but well read by the backline of Uruguay. A mistake coming out of the back for Jorginho. Serving the ball, not enough altitude, but backed up again by Brazil. They've got it locked in. Tremendous through ball. The shot was wide. The play had already been whistled to a conclusion.
Hector Núñez is furious. Edmundo was offside, not Roberto Carlos. Beautiful ball from Juninho, and the linesman raises the flag. Bengoche asking for help from the assistant, and he got it. Bengoche playing right midfield. He's got to track Roberto Carlos back. That will never happen. So he will ask for help as much as he can. That's one of the reasons he's on the bench.
There's Dunga being held from behind. Works his way out of the jam.
They were saved there by the assistant. Mistake by Andre Diaz trying to clear instead of towing it out. See that? Tow it towards the linesman. Is that a handball?
I think so.
Yeah. Ouch. Oof. Yellow card. Poyet calling Juninho. Mundo is very smart. He gets rid of the ball quickly. If not, he's going to get hit by Moas.
Dunga. Towed well to the far touchline. Settled. Now slashed towards the archway of the 18. Divided ball. Possession now for Uruguay. Look to press out of their zone in a hurry. Now we'll check it up, protect the ball. Gutierrez. Neatly taken back by Brazil.
Once again, they lose possession, trying to come up the middle.
Roberto Carlos breaking towards the quarter. Greets the ball, takes a heavy touch inside the box, spins around one, is brought down inside the area. And the call will favor Uruguay.
Called an offensive foul. He can't believe it. It's me who was fouled, he says. Then I can't say what he said. Trying to get around Mendes. I did not see an offensive foul.
No, I didn't either.
I don't think it was a defensive foul either.
Right.
Now this was a foul. Strongman Cesar Sampaio. Yep. Oh, that dangerous play. Sampaio again. Dunga, I just can't believe it. Because you didn't even see it. You're looking the other way. See, he's looking at the ball when the foul happens.
Even still, Francescoli took the cleats right into the lap.
Yeah. Another dangerous free kick. 17th minute.
Similar distance from where Uruguay scored the equalizer about 10 minutes ago. Offset a little bit to the center.
Different setup. It's indirect.
Francescoli this time. Tremendous effort from Enzo, but snatched by Tafarel.
Looking for the same corner where Bengoche scored. This time Tafarel jumped on that one.
Again, Uruguay pressing ahead. And it's Francesco centers the ball. Cleared away by Dunga.
It's too hard for Martinez to win a ball in the air next to Aldair and Andre Cruz.
For Juninho. Pushing upfield. Plays with Edmundo. Now he's flanked on the near side. Lays it off. And Jorginho's ball easily handled by Alves. Francesco. Fans applaud as he gets by Dunga not once but twice. Sidesteps another defender. Enzo now darting towards the center of the park as Otero controls.
No, Enzo got tired of evading those, and he was going to get killed, and the referee doesn't do anything about it.
Virginia. And too strong from behind. The foul goes against Antonov. Zunio. Roberto Carlos rolls it back for Andre Cruz. Back to Roberto Carlos. He'll use Juninho. So Roberto Carlos measuring for the service. The ball set inside. 1 against 3 inside the area. Daring cutback, but effective. And that's Dunga whistled for the foul.
20th minute, Enzo getting more involved, carrying his team forward. Want to win this Copa América at home.
Francesco played with the Uruguay national team from 82 to 97. 73 caps, 17 goals. His statistics while playing with River Plate over 2 stints, staggering. In 165 appearances, he scored 90 goals.
It's a different position, the one he's playing right now for Uruguay. He used to play for River Plate. At River Plate, he was playing almost as a center forward.
Right.
Would come back. Here he's playing as a midfielder that needs to attack and score goals. It's a lot harder. It's different. He can do it both. But as it's closer to goal, he'll have better chances.
Martinez called for the foul. Pulling down Roberto Carlos. Juninho. Pressure from Magocha. That is Juninho. And sees the yellow card.
It rarely happens. He usually gets hit. His hitting. 3rd yellow card, Roberto Carlos, Zinho, and now Juninho for Brazil.
Virginia. Edmundo couldn't find his way out of the trap that time. Impressive spin. Now it's a foot race, clearly held from behind. Dunga finishing off the challenge.
It's past Aldair, turns on him. Marcelo Otero, who ended up playing in Spain for Zaragoza, also playing. No foul from Dunga.
Flipped on into a bit of space. Waits on the shot, pauses, then fires. It's deflected near the penalty spot. Shot with the left foot.
No spaces found by Uruguayans. Watch out. The corner counterattack.
Juninho pulls off the switch, hits Jorginho, who elects to knock it back the other way. At the Carlos territory.
Not being able to hit it well. Not yet. There's Edmundo again, frustrated, not getting enough services up front. Comes back, tries to steal the ball from Otero and fouls Otero.
Errant pass easily picked off. Bump to the touchline. Defender gains position. Well played by Mendez. Sneaks back around Sampaio. Gutierrez releases. Andre Cruz will play with Taparel. Zinho. Roberto Carlos. Not a bad effort.
Well, flag was up for Edmundo.
Martinez off for Uruguay throw. The hands of Bengoechea. This is Adolfi.
Somebody should be waiting in the penalty spot, but they don't really have a target, man.
No doubt into a dangerous spot, but Tafarel is there.
I thought Otero was offside. Flag stayed down this time. Dangerous play. Ooh, the other way he called it.
Uruguay trying to catch back up to Argentina in total championships won in the Copa America in 1993. Argentina won their 14th Copa America title. This will be number 14 for Uruguay if they can get past Brazil. Brazilians, meanwhile, looking for their 5th Copa America title.
That Argentine win was under coach Basile, the same coach who will be behind them in Venezuela this summer. Alfio Basile.
Save the 2001 edition of the Copa America. Brazil has dominated the cup after this tournament. Good ball through. Pop back out. Francescoli ready to pounce. He's got the ball, attempted to spin. Shut down by a pair of yellow jerseys, but Uruguay not giving up possession. Gutierrez is chasing after it, but the ball rolls off the park for a Brazil throw. Brazil won the title in 97, 99, and 2004. So 3 of the last 4 Copa America titles belong to Brazil.
Colombia, they're won, they 0-1, playing at home. The only one they've won. And it's at home. Now let's see how far Venezuela can get in their own Copa America. Remember, Venezuela has never won it. Bolivia won it at home. The only time they won it was at home. They had a chance to win another one at home. They lost to Brazil.
Taking advantage of the altitude. Bolivia's.
Well, it didn't work last time in Bolivia.
Their lone championship was in 1963, as you mentioned. They hosted that tournament. Their last tournament hosted by Bolivia was in '97, and again made it back to the finals. But like you said, Rafa, Brazil came out victorious in that championship, 3-1 the score. Herrera. Thrusted towards the end line. Now the cross, bending away from Daffero. What a great idea. Crashing through was, I believe, Francesco.
No, flying through was Martinez. Yep. Flying over the head of the defenders. Or is Francesco? Wow, I thought it was Martinez. Cross from Adinolfi, far side. There was Enzo. It's Andre Cruz who cleared.
Zinho drops it back. Possession for Captain Dunga. Poor pass out of the back, easily intercepted. A touch too many. Jorginho. Complicating for Uruguay was Martinez. This is Juninho. Chipping over the back line of defense, but the ball checks up into the hands of Alves.
Zagallo preparing a substitution. It's Beto who's warming up, or listening to Zagallo. He warmed up already. Beto played for Botafogo at Rio de Janeiro. Oh, Zagallo played for Botafogo in Brazil.
Gutierrez.
Foul.
Martinez down just outside the area. The play continues. Shoulder to shoulder.
Well, Moss fell asleep.
Tulio knocks it ahead for Juninho, who didn't have any help as Edmundo was late to the party. Roberto Carlos swinging the ball inside, is leading Juninho. Here's Edmundo. Juninho asking for it. Instead, the idea was to hit Jorginho. So more than half an hour now into the second half. The score is tied. At the end of regulation, penalty kicks would be required to break the tie if either team was able to strike before the end of the second half.
So Uruguay made a change up front, brought in number 17 Martinez. Now Zagallo's going to answer with number 17, Beto. Well, the name is probably Albert, or it's Beto. Will be coming in, I believe, for Tulio.
Not to be confused with Bebeto.
Oh, that's double Beto.
That's right.
Beto was not called for this national team. I believe he was changing teams, traveling to La Coruña back then. From Flamengo.
Wow. Carlos puts the carrot out in front, chases after it. Alves is there.
Finally, one from Roberto Carlos. It's the 33rd minute, second half, and that's when he starts sprinting.
Right.
Very talented Andre Cruz in trouble.
Edmundo.
Roberto Carlos was signed after this Copa América by Internazionale Milan. Then he was sold to Madrid.
Swish for Jorginho. Drops it back into his own half. Brazil careful with possession. Dunga. Jorginho. Sandwiched and a free kick now to Brazil.
And Benicio Carter will allow the substitution now. The 34th minute. Oh, it's Juninho Paulista coming off the pitch. Worked very hard. Also got a yellow card. The man who I believe was traded this summer to Middlesbrough in the Commission. Of 95. They're going to allow Roberto Carlos to test Fernando Alves from there.
He's got it teed up. Drops the hammer with the left foot, but this time he must hit it.
Is that all you have? The fans also enjoying a miss hit. You can't believe it. First time I saw Roberto Carlos play was playing for Palmeiras on a Copa Libertadores match, and he took a shot from almost midfield, a free kick from almost midfield. I said, what is he doing? He misses by very little.
Good decision. Terrific through ball, but Amundo couldn't do much with it.
It's a pitch bouncing, the ball bouncing. There, look. When he goes to make contact, some air underneath it.
Part of the mystique of Centenario Stadium, where the bounces more often than not are going to favor Uruguay. I believe the stat is that Brazil has only beat Uruguay twice in the stadium in 20 tries.
Sounds right. In South America, there's really home field advantage.
Yep.
In the Copa Libertadores, in the Copa América, in the qualifiers. It's very important. The home field advantage really matters. Very hard for fans to travel with their team. Well, like in Europe, they play one final of the UEFA Champions League and everybody travels. And here, no, they play home and away, for example, in the final of the Copa América and the Copa Libertadores, and it's a home field advantage with the fans supporting.
Cheo from the corner, that one might have had a chance.
Yet always involved.
Now on re-entry, got a dangerous ball this time cleared away by Jorginho after it is Tafarel. He brings it in.
It's Bengochea put some spin on it, and the ball just drops right between the two central defenders, where it really hurts. Look at that placement there. Well, Ever Moa's out of position, trying to slow down Tafarel. Tafarel played for Parma in Italy, then finished his career in Turkey. Edmundo has been dangerous throughout the match.
Back the other way. Jorginho keeping the ball away from Martinez. Zinho for Roberto Carlos.
Zinho's so important for this team to balance things out, always making great decisions.
This is for Beto. Who eyes Jorginho. A step outside the box, breaking for the end wide. He stood up.
Good job by Adinolfi. Jorginho, who was mentioned playing in Japan, but he played for Bayern Munich before the '94 World Cup.
Foul. Dunga. Jorginho twisting the ball inside. Offsides.
Tulio again, caught offside. Yellow card for Edmundo. This for dissent.
Zinho walks into Uruguayan territory, towing the ball towards the corner. Settled by Roberto Carlos. Dunga gets away from Martinez. Carving the ball this way. Jorginho slashing back, now inside the area. A heavy touch. They had to rush things. Dunga there to start the play again. Zinho. Mistake in the back. The ball comes whistling into the six. Alves is ready for it.
Well, I don't know what Alves is asking for help from the assistant. I did not see an offside this time. Alves thought so. But Zinho and Roberto Carlos created major problems for Gustavo Mendes and Bengochea, who we knew was going to suffer playing right mid.
Zinho. Flag stays down. Right outside the box, almost straddling the edge of the 18. Certainly a card and very close to a penalty.
Yep, yellow card for Mendes. Did not keep up with Roberto Carlos. 41st minute. Sprinted even harder than he had been. In my book, that should have been a red card. But
sure.
Because FIFA had announced it in '94 already. Fouls from behind are red cards.
Yep.
Ask El Diablo Echeverri about that one.
And there was no in between Roberto Carlos and Fernando Alves.
Now everybody wants to take it for Brazil, of course. It should be a Edmundo. Animal.
Less than 5 minutes to play in regulation. Penalties will decide the cup if we stay tied. Off the wall, second chance. May have deflected that time.
Oh my God.
By the way, Dunga and Brazil are in Group B for the 2007 Copa América. The opening rounds will take on Chile, Mexico, and Ecuador.
Another good cross from Roberto Carlos. Tulio could not reach. Betos played more midfield than striker.
Uruguay are in Group A. They'll take on the hosts, Venezuela, plus Peru and Bolivia. And that leaves Argentina, Paraguay, Colombia, and the United States in Group C.
There are two groups of death, really. Group C is very tough. Group B. Things. It's Peru, Bolivia against Uruguay and Venezuela.
Again, the long throw. A chance to do it again in the 44th minute.
Nobody near Adinolfi. Everybody knows better.
He's right into the soul of the 18. Francescoli gets leveled. Well, Andre Cruz. And Enzo stays down.
Still down. Well, no foul, but very strong from Andre Cruz. Where's Dunga going? I don't think he's coming off the pitch.
Into the 90th minute.
Dunga gets booked by the Mexican Arturo Bricio.
Counting up towards penalty kicks.
So much pressure on Coach Hector Núñez to win Copa América at home. Can't imagine.
Brazil has already survived one penalty kick shootout in this tournament, taking down Argentina in the quarterfinals 2-2 at the end of time. Brazil won 4-2 on PKs. Uruguay not having to compete in a penalty kick shootout thus far in the tournament.
In the semifinals, it was Uruguay with goals from Adinolfi and Otero defeating Colombia 2-0, and Uruguay was already at Dair with the only goal against USA. The third place, then it was 4-1 Colombia over USA. Bill Max Moore scoring for USA. Someone slowed down Sampaio.
Brazil perhaps a final chance as they counter now in stoppage time. Beto.
Oh, poor effort by Tulio.
This is Arturo Carter. Nope. Now a call to an end of regulation. So a penalty kick required to decide the champion of the 1995 Copa América. We're going to step aside, but we'll be back with the PK shootout right after this. 1-1 the final score after regular time in Montevideo, the 1995 Copa América final. Uruguay and Brazil. Brazil struck in the 30th minute. Tulio, the goal scorer, but Uruguay was able to equalize just 6 minutes into the second half. Mangoche, who was brought on as a substitute to start the second half, put the Uruguayans back on level terms. So after 90 minutes, nothing decided, 1-1. We go to a PK shootout, and Enzo Francescoli poised to shoot first for Uruguay.
Taffarel is ready. Captain Francescoli.
And the Prince, no problem, as Francescoli puts it past the diving Taffarel. And Uruguay converts on their first attempt.
Always elegant Enzo Francescoli. Good guess by Taffarel.
So after Uruguay starts with their captain, the veteran, and Francescoli, Brazil turning to one of the youngsters, Roberto Carlos, just 22 years old during this tournament.
He's been mishitting the ball all afternoon. Let's see now from the spot.
Fernando Alves between the pipes for Uruguay.
Ooh.
Keeps it on the deck and scorches it past Alves.
Was that between the legs of Alves? I think he mishits it again. Wow, he did. Not a good one, but it's in the back of the net. 1-1. Trying to hit it too hard. He missed hitting it.
So now Uruguay with Van Goethe scored the equalizer in the 51st minute.
The maestro, let's see where he places this one.
Another shot capped low, and again, Tafarel was in the neighborhood, but couldn't keep it out.
Looks casual, but he knows exactly what he's doing. Spins it away from Tafarel. So it's 2-1, Uruguay. He retired in 2003.
And Zinho.
They had won the World Cup when PKs.
Yep.
94.
Yep. Over Italy, of course. And then beat Argentina in the quarterfinals of this tournament on PKs.
Wow.
And Zinho goes top shelf and scores.
Decides to lift it up. So sure of his talent, Zinho. No problem beating Fernando Alves. Best penalty so far, taken by Zinho.
So both teams perfect after two. Herrera, next stop for Uruguay.
The sweeper from Cagliari.
Just a two-step approach. Tafarel close again. But Herrera able to knock it past him.
Good guess once again. No way he will reach, but good try.
He's 3 for 3 guessing the right way.
Yes,
He's come within inches, but the kicks have been far enough to either side to be just past the outstretched fingertips of Tafarel. Goal scorer for Brazil now, Tulio.
Finally, a solid keeper for Brazil. They struggled in previous national teams with their keeping.
Top goal scorer in the tournament for Brazil, and it's saved.
Wow. Too casual, just toes it straight into Alves. Well, Alves guessed to his right, but still. I think it hits it outside right foot, but hits it.
Yep. He kicked second for Brazil in their penalty kick shootout victory over Argentina in the quarterfinals and scored. But Brazil's top scorer in this tournament is the first to miss in this shootout.
So now advantage Uruguay. Defensive mid Álvaro Gutiérrez. Peñarol player behind the ball now.
A chance to go up 4-2 in the shootout. Drives it into the back of the net.
This time it's Tafarel, goes to his left, the ball to his right. And advantage Uruguay.
The next kick becomes a must-make kick, trailing 4-2. Imagine we'll see the captain for Brazil. And it will be Dunga.
If it misses or Alves saves, it's all over. Number 14 stays in Uruguay. If not, we'll have to wait for Uruguay to take their next one.
Here he is, the captain, to extend the shootout.
Wow.
It's good.
Alves guessed to his right, but out of reach from the captain. 4-3. Julio misses. 4-3. And now for Uruguay, it's Sergio Martinez.
Had a chance to win. Uruguay 4 for 4 in the shootout. Martinez can make it a perfect 5 for 5 to win the cup, and he's done it. Uruguay champions of the 1995 Copa América.
They did not miss. They took the 5. Francesco Libengochea, Herrera, Gutierrez, and Martinez with the winner. Tulio, who scored in the 30th minute, misses from the spot. So celebrations that's inside Centenario and all over Montevideo and Uruguay.
So for the 14th time, Uruguay champions of the Copa América. They tie Argentina for the most tournament titles. We're going to take a break, but we'll come back with more celebration from Montevideo.